Let's talk about ghosting. I love this topic, being ghosted, what to do when you feel like ghosting somebody, but you know you maybe probably shouldn't, when you have to have a difficult conversation and properly equipping yourself to do that rather than ghosting somebody. Let's get into it. Pretty certain that all of us have been ghosted at least one point throughout the course of our lives. And the thing is, we can't take it personally because it's all on the other person. It's something that they are choosing to consciously do. It's the easy path. We're going to break down a couple different things here, the psychology behind ghosting, why people do it, why you should actually have difficult conversations rather than taking the easy path and ghosting somebody. We're going to get into all the nitty gritty. Why do people ghost? Many people ghost because they are not mature enough to have difficult conversations. They lack the communication abilities, or they're simply scared, right? They don't want to have those uncomfy conversations, and so they're going to take the easy path out and leave you hanging, leave you high and dry. They either don't respect you enough, they don't respect themselves enough, or they're simply childish and immature. And again, take the easy path out. I promise you, whether you're a guy or a girl, your soulmate, the love of your life, is never going to do this to you. They would never put you in a position where you are hurting, where you're questioning your worth, where you're wondering what you did wrong. Anyone who truly loves you and actually cares about you is never going to do that to you. And so when somebody is ghosting you, this is what I want you to do. I want you to simply be confident and secure in yourself, to simply be okay with that, to walk away. And I know that's hard to hear because we have a natural proclivity as human beings to want to send them a million texts, right? What did I do wrong? Are you okay? Why are you ignoring me? Blah, blah, blah. But then the thing is, you're going to look stupid. And I know that's hard to hear, but you're going to look silly, because then they're going to be thinking like, oh my gosh, this person is obsessed with me. I'm clearly trying to keep my space and ignore them. I mean, shoot, I didn't even text them back. And here they are coming after me left and right. You don't want to be that person. You want to put yourself on a pedestal and you know what? They did that to me, and I respect myself enough to be like, let them, right? We've all heard of the let them theory. Let them. Let them ghost you, keep yourself on a pedestal, and learn to walk away. And so the other really crucial component of this video is knowing the difference between ghosting, boundaries, and everything in between. So some people will think ghosting is not replying, and they kind of get that mixed up. For a perfect example, this guy from my past who was, not the most healthy person, we'll just say, was trying to come back into my life. And I already made it abundantly clear years ago that this was done, right? This was over. We were not going to be together. And so when he texts me, I simply do not reply. Now, is that ghosting? No, that is called having respect for myself and having boundaries. And so that's what I want you guys to know, is don't think that every time somebody texts you, especially if it is somebody who has done you dirty from your past, that you have to reply. Absolutely not. Again, if you want to truly love yourself and you're truly confident in yourself, then I would say don't reply. There's a difference between forgiving somebody and being bitter too. Like, you can forgive somebody and move on. And again, that doesn't mean you need to cave in and text them back and to give in to all their needs. No, if somebody has proved their character and that character is poor time and time again, then that is not ghosting them if you don't reply to their message. That is having boundaries. Let that sink in. People who ghost are usually scared of having an uncomfortable conversation. That's where it is stemming from. Either they are insecure within themselves, they're too scared to have this conversation, and even further where that stems from is because they are afraid of losing you. They're afraid of losing their relationship as a whole. Therefore, they don't have the conversation at all. And how silly is that, right? Because then you would think you're really going to lose that person if you're not even going to try to make an effort to have that difficult conversation. So I want you to really let it sink in, guys, that it's not you. And I'll tell you a story. I've only been ghosted once, and I'm thankful for that. And as human beings, we always want to get down to the root cause of things, right? So if somebody does ghost us, we want to know why. Why are they doing this? What are they so afraid of? But the thing is, when I got ghosted, I realized at that point the type of person that I was dealing with, and that person wasn't healthy, and they were afraid to have difficult conversations. And so in that situation, I made a conscious choice and was like, you know what? this person in my life is not worth it anymore, and so I'm going to choose to let them go. And I knew they would come back eventually and try and have the conversation, and I stuck with that boundary. I was like, you know what? I gave you plenty of opportunities to have the conversation, and you decided to take the easy way out. Therefore, I am, wishing you the best. I'm wishing you all the good in the world, but I'm not going to be moving forward with you at that point. And that's just a perfect example of it, right? There's going to be a million different situations where you get ghosted, whether it's a friend, a partner, a guy, girl, whatever, right? Even your parents. I mean, anybody can choose to do this. You are so in love and confident within yourself. You learn to not take these things personally. And again, I know it's not always easy, right? It's not fun in the moment. I get it. It wasn't fun for me. I was like, wow, I've never dealt with something like this before. I've never had this happen to me before. But when I started to reflect and wonder again why this person was doing it and get to the psychology behind their thinking, what I was thinking, I realized, you know what? It's okay. It's not on me, right? And usually people do project their own emotions onto us when they're feeling certain things anyways, and we start to pick up on that during conversations, especially those uncomfy ones. So just remember that. Keep yourself on a pedestal. Know that the actions and poor behavior of others is usually very little, if at all, anything to do with you. You deserve an amazing love. You deserve amazing friendships, relationships, and if somebody is not giving you the love and respect, which is through effective communication, I believe that's one of the most beautiful gifts you can give to somebody in any relationship, then you might have to look in the mirror and realize that it's time to cut somebody off respectfully, right? That it may be time to let that person go if they are treating you like a doormat. Love yourself enough to not tolerate that behavior. I totally believe in second chances. I totally believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. But guys, ghosting is just one of those things that shouldn't be tolerated. That's not okay. I don't care what somebody did to you. I don't care how uncomfortable the conversation is. Everybody deserves at least a reply. Here's one of my favorite ones. Hey, I'm finding this conversation really difficult right now, and I feel like I don't have the capacity to talk about it. Do you think we could come back to it at a later time or date? No matter how frustrated somebody is at you, no matter what somebody did, I truly believe the other person is going to be like, wow, I really appreciate you saying that. And of course we can come back to this at a different time when you are most comfortable to speak about these things at hand. And when you start vocalizing your wants, needs, goals, desires, frustrations like this, you are going to have the most beautiful and memorable conversations that ultimately lead to the greatest relationships in life. It's truly a win-win.